Alright, if you always support the popular opinion, you might hate this video because what is even going on? Do you guys realize how dumb this is? Because this situation just leaves me with more questions than answers. It's just so much and so dumb at the same time. Just look at this. Yes, I'm going to be covering all this. But for now, let's just start this video. Trisha has had quite the dramatic past in her entertainment career. Like, she has constant breakdowns and she's constantly calling people out. And 9 times out of 10, the way she calls people out makes her seem like a hypocrite. So obviously there was a lot of tension created by Trisha between herself and the Vlog Squad when she dropped the video titled, "Why David Dobrik is a Horrible Human Being." Wow, who would have guessed? But this was all resurfaced again when Trisha went on to the Zach Zang podcast and said this.
I saw him at a Starbucks once and he saw me and he left without getting his coffee. He was so scared. He just like bolted.
Okay then. Odd move on Jeff's part, but I mean, it's somewhat understandable when you see what comes from this. So the next thing in this saga is when Jeff addresses this on the Scott cast without mentioning Trisha's name.
There was a situation in the Starbucks that somebody's going around on all these radio shows talking about how I saw them in Starbucks and I didn't acknowledge them and I turned around and walked out of the Starbucks without even making eye contact with this person because I don't have any respect for them. And if somebody fucks over one of my friends, I don't even make eye contact with them. I don't respect that person. I'm not going to fake a handshake to avoid an awkward situation.
Okay, so after seeing this, what do you think happened? Do you think that A, the situation just faded away, B, they made up, or C, Trisha returns to how she normally acts when someone finally calls her out, except for she wasn't mentioned? Surprise, surprise, it was C.
Jeff, guess what? You're a disgusting little Jeff Wittick, David Dobrik, Jason Nash, Vlog Squad. Y'all are little. I have a video coming out in 5 minutes. Get your pants ready, you disgusting piece of... Don't tell me I disrespected any of your friends, you little punk. Jeff, you don't know me. You were at the hospital the night I went to the mental hospital and I tried to... You're a little... And you have so much dirty in you and everything. You're nastiest little dumb... You think I've disrespected David and Jason? Are those the friends you're talking... Oh, you have no idea what you're talking about. And the whole world will know. David and Jason, you think I disrespected them? You wait. You were lucky I only told your little punk story of going to Starbucks, which you totally misconstrued in this latest podcast. You're lucky that's the only story I told, but I have so many more stories that I can tell on my YouTube channel and podcast to show that you're a little punk and I'm calling you by name, Jeff.
Did we watch the same podcast? What's going on here?
Include what you're talking about or what your little friend group is about, or maybe you do. Saw all this in the Vlog Squad that you have no clue that a lot of people don't do. I have the receipts. You are you dumb. I have kept my mouth shut for so long because I thought, maybe David's an okay person. Maybe this, maybe Jay. All you guys, whatever the you guys are talking about or whatever. Jason told me the reason that like people in his friend group couldn't know that we were still talking or I was hanging out at his house or whatever is because they were scared of me. That's what he said, words from his own mouth. Well, you know what? Now you should be scared of me because you guys have a lot of skeletons that I was just like, you know what? It'll come to the light. Darkness will come to the light. But all that, I'm bringing it to the light. You wanted to make things awkward. That's why you left. You want to make things awkward, Jeff? It's about to get real awkward. Ugh. Whole Vlog Squad thinks I'm crazy because I talk, because I have a voice, because I don't. Oh my God. Maybe I'll get a call from David. Maybe I'll be in the vlog. Maybe somebody will finally recognize me at 33 years old. Y'all thought it was crazy.
This is crazy. This is very crazy. Is there any proof here? Or is this all just empty allegations?
Okay, so part 1 is just directed to Jeff. And then I have part 2 about Jeff and Todd. Part 3 will go way depth into Jason, how evil he and gross he is. Then David, I'll save the finale for him, how actually disgusting, how much he covers up. He is disgusting, evil, spineless little jellyfish. So all that, I don't give a shit about anything anymore. I was trying to just move on. You want to say I'm disrespecting your friends? Get ready for the laundry list of ways that your friends have disrespected me and other women and abused them and harmful and how dangerous all are.
Okay, I'm getting some real life reality TV vibes here. Like, this is all a dramatic smoke show unless we actually have something that's concrete evidence, or at least something to go after here. But she made all of that and then dropped this first video titled, "How David Dobrik plus the Vlog Squad Ruined My Life." Okay, so in this first video, these are all of her points. Starting off with Trisha running into Jeff at Starbucks. Jeff runs off, leaving his food and drink. Jeff then mentions this encounter on the Scottcast without mentioning Trisha's name, claiming she effed over one of his friends. Trisha claims that she was still friends with Jason up until May, but she had to park around the block since David and crew didn't want people to know that they were still friends. Trisha then claims that David was trying to force a threesome between her, Jason, and Tana Mojo. She then calls out David for using her relationship with Jason as content. Then she calls out Jason and David for faking their relationship. And then Trisha claims that David and Jeff came to the hospital filming the night that she almost ended her life. That's actually really messed up. David then allegedly left the hospital and never talked to Trisha again. Yet it's only been months since that happened, I think. So never talking to him again kind of seems a little dramatic, but hey. And then finally, she completely grazes over this dirty dom holding a girl down at VidCon with no proof or any elaboration from that. So yeah, now that we have all the points down, also, I'm so sorry for the writing. I am a left-handed man. Trying to write on a whiteboard while being left-handed is not the easiest thing. See, I'm just impressed with myself for not smudging it. But now that we have all the points down, let's just be devil's advocate for all of these points. So starting off, again with the first one, Trisha runs into Jeff at Starbucks. Jeff runs off, leaving his food and drink. I mean, this now kind of makes sense, like when you see how big this incident became after just this incident. Moving on, Jeff mentions the encounter on Scottcast without mentioning Trisha's name, claiming she effed over one of his friends. Okay, I guess this makes sense considering she uploaded a video titled, "Why David Dobrik is a Horrible Human Being." Sure, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt by saying that David Dobrik deserved this video, but from David's friend's perspective, no matter what, she is effing over David by uploading a video titled that. So next point, Trisha claims that she was still friends with Jason up until May, but she had to park around the block since David and crew didn't want people to know they were still friends. This one's a little bit absurd, but also you guys have seen how paparazzi and fans even can harass YouTubers. It just doesn't look good for anyone involved, even Trisha having someone around the house who made a video titled, "Why David Dobrik is a Horrible Human Being." Like, I'm sure the last thing the Vlog Squad wanted was for this to get blown out of proportion. Too late for that. So in a way, this also makes sense. And also, I don't know why Trisha would even stand hanging out with people that would force her to park around the block just to hang out with them. Like, she is an adult. She can make her own decisions to not hang out with people like that, because obviously that friendship is just not working out. Next point, Trisha claims David tried forcing a threesome between Trisha, Jason, and Tana Mojo. Yeah, that's kind of messed up as well. But sure, while Tana's young, I do feel like it's wrong and kind of misleading to call her a child, like, since she is legally adult, even though that it's insanely weird. But I do think this whole thing was a harmless joke, just like this harmless joke.
Get you something to eat. Don't say anything weird to David while I'm inside.
I'll try not to suck his.
Yeah, don't suck his.
Wouldn't that be so funny though? Like, actually, if I
No,
tried.
it wouldn't be funny.
I would be shattered.
I'll just come inside with you. Bye, Jason.
So good.
So obviously, it's just harmless jokes. It's just whatever. Next point, she calls out David for using her relationship with Jason for content. Well, you kind of signed up with that when you started dating like one of the main people in David Dobrik's vlogs. Next point, she calls out Jason and David for faking her relationship because allegedly when David told Jason to break up with her, he did. So making a public video airing out your relationship drama to millions of people and for it to be on the internet forever, that's pretty reckless. And I understand why Jason took that advice if that actually happened in the first place. And then we have Trisha claims that David and Jeff came to the hospital filming the night she almost ended her life. All right, this one, if this one's true, this is unacceptable. There is like no excuse to not leave your camera in the car before you go into the hospital. Definitely in a situation like this. So if this happened the way Trisha said it, yes, they were being human beings right there. So next point, David allegedly left the hospital and never talked to Trisha again. So number one, never talked to Trisha again is being a little bit dramatic because it's only been months since that situation. And it's also kind of understandable to not speak to a person for months after a person releases a video on you titled, "Why You Are a Horrible Human Being." Yeah, that's pretty understandable. And finally, she grazes over Dirty Dom holding a girl down at VidCon. She just grazes past this and doesn't really elaborate at all. We leave it at there. If more comes out, more comes out. If it doesn't, then you know. So all in all, this first video was a somewhat entertaining smokescreen that didn't lead into anything. Then she drops her second video, basically just 180ing, retracting the fact that she's doing a 4-part series and everything. Then she says that she doesn't want to be associated with anyone from the Vlog Squad nor David Dobrik anymore. So all of this just kind of ends there, with no real conclusion or anything really. It's just kind of someone sitting in mud, throwing mud at someone else who may or may not also be sitting in mud. Basically, this is just getting David and his brand into trouble for nothing to really come out of it. So please let me know in the comments down below what you think of this video. If you're new here, I welcome you to my channel. It'll be awesome if you subscribe. If you want to follow me outside of YouTube, you can find me as Aditozy on Instagram and Twitter. Links will be down in the description down below. But on that note, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
97 Leo killer, about to pull a trigger, never switching up. I just wanna go and get it with my friends and spend it, cause I go and get it if I want. I don't wanna second guess it, living in a second, and you coming second to the one. Lately I've been acting reckless, wanna bag your necklace, I don't have a second, gotta run. But I recommend this life is what I wanted. Made a little bit of progress since we started. I don't think I gotta say I go the hardest. I've been thinking about my future, go the farthest. I think I back home was in Japan.